we'll see. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, I'll be there this weekend.
The slogan is distrust everyone and make your
Distrust.
life harder.
Anything we can do to make your life more difficult right now? Yeah, sure. Never mind that I've had the plague recently and therefore have natural antibodies. Anyway, how are you, my dear, dear boy? I didn't want to ask you about that. I wanted to ask you about something else. Are you generally good?
Dude, I can't tell sometimes. You know what I mean? Like it always bounces between I think everything's chill, or maybe I'm just disassociated and dealing with it, and maybe things are kind of okay. Or what if like it's really not? You know what I mean? So there there are times in the present moment where it's like it's all right, or am I just telling myself that it's all right, then convincing myself that it's all right?
Yes.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I do. I think there's a sort of uh, you have it. I think a lot of guys your age have it a sort of a beaten up vibe, like a little bit
Yeah,
of a ugh, everything sucks and
for
everything. I've
sure.
taken a beating on every front.
Well, let me play you this. I'm sure you saw it on my story, but maybe we can open up the discussion about this particular maybe cultural attitude. But this is what basically what he says. It's 15 seconds long. Uh,
This is completely anecdotal, just my experience, but I'm 29 years old, and I find that most of the people my age completely fucking checked out. We know that we got fucked, and so instead of trying to tackle the issues and thinking we could do something about it, we've just checked the fuck out, and we're just gonna live our life and give no fucks.
so then I felt validated listening to that. What is your opinion on such a matter?
Um, my opinion is that this year I would like I have the ability to do more about this, and I'm going to do more. I'm going to do more. There's a I'm going to set up a new channel. I think it's going to either be called Richard Grannon and Friends or Richard Grannon and Co. And I'm going to try and talk more about that kind of issue there. Um, and I'll separate the subjects. I'll do it for like guys your age, and also for women your age as well. I think there's some pretty unique challenges, and I'm seeing an awful lot of depressed people, young depressed people. They're in the prime of their lives. The future is ahead of them. They're young and beautiful. They're never going to be younger, and they're just like, fuck, I can't cope, and I don't know what I'm doing. And I think a lot of this is like an unconscious reflection of um, as the guy in the video said, kind of a sense that there's been a bit of a stolen future scenario
Yeah.
going on.
I've talked to people my age and a bit younger, and they actually repeat those same words as if like
Right.
I feel like my future has been stolen from me. And I can
Yeah.
only imagine, especially being like early 20s or maybe graduating high school, and then all this shit happens. And it's not only just because like, hey, like lockdowns, you can't go to a restaurant, but during that situation, there was like a massive unveiling of, oh, the school system's fucked up. The government's lying to you. Everything's a fucking lie to you. And
Yeah.
a part of me has just been thinking, like, I think obviously a lot of this stuff has to deal with it, but I wish I can go back to just naively thinking that I am going to make a difference and this is why I'm doing this thing, and maybe naively put on my fashion costume so I can post fashion things and make fashion money. You know what I mean? Where
Yeah.
now so much of that is peeled back if you have a fucking brain and you're observant. And
Yeah.
anybody who does sees it and they're just kind of like, well, fuck, like, especially if you're younger.
Yes. Yes, I think so. I suspect there's a huge economic component to this. Like how what careers are open to you, how you're going to get a job, so on and so forth. So many things have sort of gone in a direction where it feels like the people who went first burnt the bridges as they went. So
Yeah.
so I'm in a group now. It's just a group of mates, and I'm just offering advice. You can join it as well if you want, Pierre. Just saying to people who are trying to start YouTube channels, it's insane how hard it is to start from scratch now on
Hmm.
YouTube. It's insane. Like their thumbnails are right, their titles are right, the content is good. They get 2 views, and one of them is from their mum. It's like, this is great.
Yeah.
But I suspect that is there in a lot of fields. So I think part of it is like career, but then, you know, I would address this in the videos to come. I'd be like, what does a career mean today? There
Right.
isn't really career, like, unless you're going to be a doctor or
Yeah.
I don't know, something that a machine absolutely can't do yet. I think that's a big factor. There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of factors. There's huge factors, like our expectations got blown out of proportion. There's all of this, the social comparing on social media that leads to depression. Do you know what that psychological effect is called?
Gen Z. I don't know.
Oh God. I'll remember it later, but that we know, like, it's in the research. Like, if you're constantly bombarded with images doing amazingly well, and you compare yourself to that either consciously or unconsciously, if you're below a certain age and the economy isn't great for you, and you're looking, I mean, like you, for example, you had a job, you had a career, and you could make silly videos. You could put on be like, Pierre's done his hair different, his makeup different. Now he's going to hit himself in the head with a plastic bottle and make you laugh and talk about social issues. And there really has been this shift where, yeah, you could still do that, but it wouldn't be so. It'd be kind of sad now because you know
exactly. It's just fucking like desperation, you know? Like, that's literally why, like, I don't know if you've seen that photo of my profile picture of my head stuck in the massage chair.
Yeah. Yes. I love it. Yeah.
So I put it on a hoodie, and I'm still like trying to figure out like how to get it from the Czech Postal Service, because bureaucracy in the Czech Republic and everything, you know?
Right.
And like, this was supposed to be not even an ironic, it's not a statement, it's the lack of anything behind it.
Right.
And it ended up like, somebody said I look like Rihanna on it, and I thought it was funny. And then I'm like, fuck it, I'm putting it on a hoodie, and I don't give a fuck if anybody buys it. Just